Hi everyone, I'm Alison from Healthy Munchkins, and this is Alina Graham from All About Aquatics and Outback Oilies. And as a leader in the wellness industry, I'm often asked by people, and I wonder myself, what can I do for my kids and for myself in and around the swimming pool? So we all know that swimming pools are filled with chlorine, and Alina firsthand has seen a lot of that. The repercussions of that, and it's going to help us see what to do with it. So Alina herself has been teaching swimming for close to 26 years, I think now, and that's anyone through from infants and kids all the way through to adults. She has lectured physical education at both QUT and ACU. She is a bronze level swimming coach. She presents regularly at AUSTSWIM conferences, so that's both state, international, and national and international. She has her swim school, All About Aquatics, and that runs out of Everton Park and Geebung state schools here in Brisbane. And then recently she left us, which is terrible, and she's travelled 900 kilometres away out to Quilpie and set up the pool there, so both running all the public operations and set up the swim school there. So if anyone knows about how chlorine impacts your health, it's Alina, and I'd just love for you to share a little bit of the impact you've seen on that.
Yep, love to. I guess it's one of those things. Once you're been a teacher for a long time, it's very, very hard to get us out of the pool, even if we are in an environment that can actually be quite damaging to our health. So we do it for the love of it, not for the health of it. I think it's probably the best way we look at it. We do often say in the industry, chlorine is our perfume. So I don't really know if that's a good thing or not. But look, I guess, as you said, for 26 years, I've seen a lot of things. I've seen people that have gone from not having asthma to having asthma. So there's a lot of respiratory issues that come up, particularly people working in indoor pools, because the layer just above the surface of the water, there's a lot of chloramines that build up, and it can cause actually a lot of respiratory issues and stuff like that as well. One of the other common ones is skin issues. So you can get people that, again, go into the pool with good skin and come out with eczema, dermatitis, all those sorts of things, a lot of skin irritations. Again, it's more prevalent in a lot of indoor pools because of the different weather and changes and how things are sort of actually operating there. Hair on arms, I've seen teachers that, and legs, I've seen teachers that have basically never have to shave again because they've actually lost all.
Yeah. Good thing. Well, no.
Yeah, I don't know. They've lost all their hair on their arms and legs, and I've actually also heard of some ladies also losing their hair around the pubic region as well because they've spent so long in the water. So it's pretty scary when you stop and think about it that way. Obviously, our hair, that can get quite brittle depending on pools. We as kids, we've always, some of us have had green hair before. But yeah, it's very brittle. I find that the hair condition is probably more with your outdoor pools because you're also exposed, like I'm in 42 degrees dry heat in ball water. So my hair, the base of it actually is like straw. So like you feel it and go, oh my God, I may as well be sticking my hand in a bale of hay. That's how it feels like. It's pretty scary sometimes. And the other thing is immune system stuff. I haven't had asthma. I haven't had skin issues. I haven't lost my hair on my arms or my legs or anywhere else. I do have obviously dry hair, but my biggest thing is immune system. So when you think about it, we always talk about chlorine, and it's a very organic thing. So anything organic will use up chlorine. And it sort of dawned on me a few years ago that leaves, other matter in there will absorb the chlorine. So that's why we have to keep topping it up. And then I sat down one day and went, hang on a minute, I'm organic too. Sorry, my cat's just decided to join me. So there's a tail that just went across the stream then. And yeah, so pretty much, hang on, puppy. Go away, puppy with cat, not a good idea, go away. Sorry, guys. Yeah, and so pretty much with that, I said, hang on a minute, I'm organic. And that means I have to absorb the chlorine. And I was watching a video, someone that has the filter systems, and he said, let me show you something. And he had a bottle of water that we drink out of, that we buy, and he got some tap water, and tap water contains a minimal amount of chlorine in there. And he said, okay, I'll show you something. He did a pH chlorine test on both the water we drink out of a bottle that we buy and also the tap water. obviously the stuff we buy had no chlorine, but the tap water had a little bit. He then got a slice of apple and put it in our tap water, soaked it, pulled it out, retested the water, and it had 0 chlorine in it. So the question is, where did the chlorine go? The chlorine's gone into the apple.
Yeah.
So it's pretty, that sort of really made me step back and go, what am I actually doing to myself? 26 years, the bulk of them working 7 days a week in the water. And I now understand why I have immune issues and those sorts of things. So I guess that led me on the journey of saying, you know what, I need to start looking at my immune system. And classically, you go through the health system, you get put on medication, you get all those sorts of things. And I found, if anything, it actually made me worse. My body's trying to fight a chemical substance as it is, and I'm adding more in. And so when I got really, really sick, was we in 2018, so about 7 years ago, I went, that's it, I need to start healing myself from a cellular level, and I need to do it from a natural perspective. And lo and behold, out comes the oils, got introduced to me, and that's where my journey here has actually started. And so I'm still learning, I'm still developing things about actually putting my life in a protocol of protecting myself, because I'm sorry, you're not going to get me out of the water teaching. It's part of my heart. It's not going to happen. I've regained my passion for it, because I got quite sick for a while. So I've regained my passion, and there's definitely no way you're going to get me out. So I'm now going, well, what can I do to protect myself better and make it a lot easier? Okay.
Brilliant. So what are you using? What are you doing for yourself? And then I guess on another level, what do you recommend for not necessarily coaches, but just everyday mums that have kids that go in the water, say once or twice a week, and what they can do? So on both levels, are you able to guide us?
Yeah, look, I'll talk about from a general sense, and then I'll add in how you can actually add oils into the equation. So obviously now understanding that you're absorbing your children or yourself in chlorine, that you need to make sure that when you hop out of it, that you actually need to shower off straight away. Avoid leaving togs on, because what happens is the togs dry, the water will evaporate and leaves residue of chlorine in the togs. And it has been known, if you have high chlorine levels, that kids have gotten burnt because it's now dry chlorine. So you've got to sort of make sure, and like we run around in swimmers all the time. So now it's like I'm out of the pool and I'm showered and I'm out of my togs as soon as I can be. I can't.
I'm wearing mine right now. Scary.
Yeah. So if you feel you're itchy sometimes, it's because you've dried off, but you've got residues of chlorine. So again, it depends on how high the chlorine is. Once upon a time when I first started, we had a certain range that we kept the chlorine in, and over years that range has increased where we're putting more and more chlorine to the pool, and that's become from issues of having things like cryptosporidium cases and that sort of stuff, that pool operators are now not willing to risk that, so we keep the levels of the chlorine a lot higher than what we used to do. And from that, I've seen more and more people have these sorts of health issues and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's pretty scary. So main thing is, as soon as you're in it, get out and actually wash yourself down. Strip them out of the togs, get them into clean clothes as soon as possible. Don't wait till you get home to have a shower. It's a bit of a habit. Oh, no, I'll get home and be in my own comfort. You really need to rinse yourself off straight away. Obviously, things when you're in the pool, make sure you wear goggles, because one of the most absorbent places of our body is our eyes. So, yeah, you sort of sit back and go, yeah, okay. But in saying that, in the swimming industry, we do need to teach kids without goggles, because if they ever fall in, they're not going to be wearing goggles. So it's a little bit of a, conflict situation, is that we've got to protect our kids' eyes, but at the same time, we've got to prepare them for a what-if situation. But in a swimming lesson, they're going to spend most of their time submerged in the water. Get the goggles, to protect them and that sort of stuff as well. So hopefully that's sort of starting to make some sense with that. Hydration, big thing as well. So making sure you drink plenty of water. So again, think about it. You're putting chemicals into your system. The best way to flush it out is to actually have water. And also too, when you're in the water, you don't realize how much you're actually sweating, because it's just getting flushed away with the water that you're in anyway. So you don't notice it as much. So hydration is another big thing with that one as well. I guess it probably now leads to, well, what can we do to protect ourselves a little bit more? So I've started obviously to play with the oils, and we talk about sunscreen. So, but we're also hearing a lot more things about the sunscreen we're using is actually now causing more damage than what actually is. So for me, I'm actually playing with making my own sunscreen, looking at something like carrot seed oil, which has SPF of 38, which is pretty high for an oil. But then looking at your essential oils like Arbor Vitae and Helichrysum, which are your natural sunscreens, but also adding things in like rosemary, which is a detox. So looking at, not just protecting our skin, but making our skin feel good, but also detoxing our skin because we're putting, chemicals into it. I have found that some days when I actually I use it as a before and after spray sort of thing. So I use the same spray before and after, and I have noticed sometimes afterwards that I get white powdery stuff, which I thought was actually dry stuff, but then sounds really bad, but I actually licked my top of my hand and it was chlorine.
Wow.
Yeah. So...
Wow.
Yeah, so it pulled it out.
Amazing.
Yeah. So some days it does, some days it doesn't, and I think that has a lot to do with your hydration as well. So if you're not hydrated well, you probably won't have that detox effect, but if you are well hydrated, you do. Yeah. So it's just things that I'm trialing and playing with and those sorts of things with that process as well. So in terms of other things that I actually do, I'll probably start from a hair perspective. Is I live off obviously the Doterra shampoos now, shampoo and conditioner. It's everywhere. It's in my car. It's in my house, and it's at the pool. But also the serum. It took me a while. Yeah, I don't do serums and all that sort of stuff. But out here, because of the straw hair, I live off the root to tip serum, and it's been absolutely amazing. And I had my niece up here last week, and she spent pretty much 6 hours a day in the pool because Auntie Alina was at work, and her hair would be straw. And first thing we'd do have a shower, come out, wash her hair, and then put the serum in, and it just smoothed it out. It's amazing. Like, I was blown away with what it does as well, because you just I'm in the water more than her, so it's like my hair goes straw really, really quickly. But doing it with her, it was amazing. I was quite surprised with that. So that's the main thing with the hair. You can, I don't know, it's up to you. Some pool people don't like it, but if I remember, I actually go into the water with conditioner in it. So I actually don't wash the conditioner out because you've got the layer in there, so protecting it a little bit, particularly if I'm doing laps and stuff like that, because I actually put the cap on. So you can use conditioner and don't take it off. And then it's great because you go out and have a shower and you've pretty much washed your hair at the same time.
Yeah.
Simple. I'm lazy, but it's a great idea. So with that's your hair. In terms of treating, I'll probably say the face is the next one, because that's generally the area that spends the most time out of the water, whether you're teaching or whether you're swimming, because you have to come up and breathe. So sunscreen, as I found, I've tried my 50 plus sunscreens, and this area is, for me, particularly being out here, is that has gotten burnt the most wearing 50 plus sunscreen.
Wow.
Yeah. So it really lightened me up to going, what are we really putting on our face? So I started to play with different oil combinations to actually put on before. Good old Frank comes along all the time. I got really, really desperate because I spent a week where I had 9-hour days in the pool and we're averaging about 40 degrees with dry heat. My face felt like a lizard. It felt like it was going to crack, and I got really, really desperate. So I threw some fractionated coconut oil, squirted into my hand, threw a couple of drops of frankincense, rubbed my hands together and just wiped it over my face and had instant relief. Fantastic. So, yeah, you can you can just use straight frankincense, as I said, because it's a really good oil. But if you want to get more serious, things like lavender is really good. Your myrrh, your helichrysum, manuka. Okay, so we're lucky here using your manuka. Cobra Bar I've played with a little bit as well, okay, in the blends. But as I said, rosemary is another good one as well to throw in there because it detoxes. As I said, I'm playing with a sunscreen, you know, with that to see how it goes. But I used, current one's got grapeseed oil on it, and then I only just found out it's got SPS of 3, so it doesn't work quite well because it's not high enough. Skin feels great.
Have you tried myrrh? I know myrrh's supposed to be pretty good at sun.
Yes, yeah, myrrh's always in. The ones that are always in my mix when it comes to skin, from the aquatic side of things, is myrrh, frankincense, helichrysum, arbor vitae, because it's a sunscreen as well, rosemary, and peppermint, because sometimes peppermint can be cooling as well. Because it's, so if you do get burnt, you're sort of cooling anyway. Just avoid that, obviously, on the face, around the eyes. It can be a bit. Yeah, I forgot I grabbed the wrong one because I have a face one and a body one.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry.
I know myrrh, frankincense, and helichrysum are all fairly expensive oils, but you can buy the soluble blend that has all of those in, and you could add the arbor vitae, rosemary, and peppermint in and make your own blend from that as well.
Totally.
I was going to ask you, with the rosemary being detoxing, have you tried Zendocrine?
Yes, I have actually. That's probably another thing. I actually put Zendocrine in my water. All the time. Yeah, so because I'm obviously absorbing a lot of chlorine, I actually put Zendocrine as probably one of my most frequent ones I actually put in my water with lemon because of that reason as well. But I have it on my list to try Zendocrine Nest from a skin perspective as well, but I haven't actually done it yet. But definitely in my water is one thing I put in there all the time is the Zendocrine.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to be careful because you've got tangerine, has it, or something citrusy, which you've got to be careful when you go out in the sun with citrus. So
yes,
might be a better one doing internally like you're doing anyway.
So any blend I make, I don't put any citrus in for that for the photosynthetic perspective. I don't put it in there as much as I love to because it smells good, but you can make other great smells with the other ones. So yeah, definitely no citrus in your skin blends and things like that as well. So I'm just trying to think the body scrub that we have as well is fantastic. So that's generally, I have my shower, I use my body scrub to get that off and go from there. And then I hop out and I do my after skincare, which is pretty much what I use before I hop in the pool as well. So I need to detox before I get in and have a protective layer. And then I also need to do the same thing afterwards. What I tend to do is have your heavy oils, like your grapeseed as the one you put in before you get in, because you need that thick oil as that protection on the outside. I still blend it with frankincense, fractionated coconut oil, so it can get in to your skin, but you need that other oil which is heavier to form that outer layer. And then my after skincare, even though it has the same essential oils in it, it's based on fractionated coconut oil. So that's sort of the difference with my carrier oils and why I use them. One's a barrier and the other one I want to get into the skin. Yeah,
brilliant. Genius. Love
it. Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's a lot. I've had to sit down and really look at what I do because there's so much involved in being in chlorine. And as I said, I didn't really realise how bad it was until I actually sort of sat back and go, what am I absorbing myself in? And I thought I need to start doing some things differently with that. The other thing I must probably talk about too is your lifelong vitality. And energy-wise is your Mito 2 Max, because the biggest thing with working in the water is because you've got chlorine in there, plus also the other environmental elements, you're going to be drained and you're going to be tired. And you're also immune system, you need to support that. So the LLV have really changed my ability to function. With the medical condition I had, I struggled to do a 8-hour day, and I just finished around Christmas for 140-hour fortnight. So yeah, so pretty much 2 years ago, no, I wouldn't even say 2 years ago, I'll probably even say 1 year ago, I only started on LLV, I think when I joined doTERRA December last year, and I think I didn't start the LLV until the beginning of the following year, so I haven't been on it that long, and there's no way I could have done that 140-hour plus fortnight without being on those supplements. So for me, it's a massive change. So, and you've got to, everything about, you know, our life now is actually about our gut health, which I know we've talked a lot about before, but a lot of your skin issues is about from your gut health.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of immune system stuff is your gut health. Everything that we put into our mouth is processed or depleted of what it's supposed to have because of the way we need to get it to our table. So we need to find those good alternatives to actually supplement ourselves. And I've tried a lot of different ones, and I haven't had the same impact that what lifelong vitality has actually had on me. So I'm sold on that one.
Sold on it. Changed and radicalized my life, my energy. So I hear you, and I'm not in the pool, anything like that. And still just for an everyday mum, just a game changer. Yeah, it's good to know that they work across the board, whatever environment you're in, I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So that's probably the biggest thing. Oh, the other thing is cracked heels are actually a huge thing in the swimming industry as well. So make sure, particularly our swim teachers, because we're constantly walking on the bottom of the pool, we need to actually look after our feet. So once you hop out, make sure you dry your feet off well and apply an oil blend to that. I've only just started to think about that. I honestly haven't done one yet, but coming out to this weather and doing a lot more deck walking, I'm actually noticing I now have cracked heels where I've never had that before. So that's another regime I need to add to my list. So it's definitely something.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Peppermint's supposed to be really good for cracked heels, I've heard.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. I'll have a go with that. And funnily enough, it's not just about sort of us being in the water. There's a lot of elements we have around the pool. I got stung by a bee the other day, stepped on it. It got caught between my foot and my thongs that I wear, and I felt that big time. And we've actually just today used, because they keep flying and getting drink source from the leisure pool where all our babies swim and parents. And so we were like, oh my God, we have to do something. And lo and behold, we put peppermint there. So one of my staff members put a drop in the spots they were getting to have water, and she accidentally dropped it on a bee. Like she was accidentally precision, and we can say that the bee dropped dead pretty quickly.
Oh my goodness.
So
I think I would get my whole body.
I know. That's how. Yeah, and every time you walk out of the ladies' bathroom now, you get this whiff of peppermint, so it's actually quite nice as well. So it's quite funny. So we don't just use the oils on us. We actually are using the oils in the surroundings. I have the doTERRA hand wash in all the basins as well, and the number of people coming out that actually, I have two boys that are quite hilarious but very troublesome boys because of, interesting background. And they will go in and sneak into the boys' toilet and rub the whole body with the On Guard. And at first I'm going, what are you doing? And they went, hang on a minute. That's actually good. Yeah. So, it's funny how these oils can play actually a part in not just us personally in the water, but just the surroundings and what we're doing. My baby classes, part of my welcome gift to them, outside a little toy for lessons, I did a little bit of an oil blend up for them, which was lavender, frankincense, and balance. And I use balance quite a lot. We know it's a grounding blend, but you think of the word balance and you think about what the body is constantly trying to do every day, and that's maintain balance. So if anything's upset, go your balance. So muscle spasms, anything like that, use balance. So what I told, sorry, I've got my cat who's trying to interrupt me here. So yeah, I've got friendly animals. So what I did, the whole purpose of doing the lavender is calming. So to introduce kids to water, it can be a frightening experience. So we use that lavender to calm. Balance is also to protect their body a little bit because remember, they're smaller, so they're actually going to absorb more chlorine than what we do. Okay, and then Frank, do I need to explain why we put Frank in there? It covers the bases. It covers everything. So lavender, balance, frankincense. The instructions to the parents was put it on before they enter the pool because we're trying to calm the kids down as well as get a protective layer. And then after, wash the kids down and put the spray on again, because then it's going to help with detoxing as well as calming again, as well as soothe the skin, give the skin some moisture back. What we have found is the number of parents that have come to me and gone, I've used that at night. My kid goes to sleep. Or the kids have gone, Mummy, one of the kids goes, Mummy, where's my eel? Can I have my eel to go to sleep, please? And she got another bottle off me because he just loves it and won't go to sleep properly without it. So the parents are starting to realise the actual benefits of it. We've had a couple of kids that have bad days and cracked it, and we've actually put the oil on their feet and down the spine, and they've calmed within 2 seconds. And you can see these parents just going, well, what did you just do there? I went, that's why we use the oil. So when you're doing stuff like that, it's not just about looking at what the oil does from a swimming perspective. It's what the oil does from an emotional perspective and that sort of stuff as well. And the whole goal is to get them calm and relax. And sometimes if gone parents, that oil, use it on yourself too. Off you go. Because some of them have anxiety around water. So I said, while you're rubbing it on them, rub it on yourself. So,
yeah, that's awesome, because it does, the energy goes from them. If they're nervous, the kids are nervous. Yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you so much. Like, that is just absolutely incredible. There's so much that we can be doing. I can't wait to share this information with the world. So just thank you for bringing your expertise and all that information to us. It's just so highly appreciated. So keep doing what you're doing. We love you.
Thank you. I love you guys too. Change my world. Bye.